It is October 14th, and we are supposed to get a frost this week. I think it got a little bit colder last night than I realized it was going to, but I'm coming out today, and I'm going to clear all of our tomatoes and peppers and get these plants done before the frost kills them. So as you can see, I've done this plant and this plant. I already have tons of green peppers, and these are all sweet. There's more growing here. So I'm going to pull all of our peppers and keep my sweet ones and spicy ones separate, and we'll see what we get in October. So I just thought I'd show you as I'm picking, like there are so many jalapenos on these plants. I already have this much done. I got so many sweet peppers. I have one more whole plant here to pick. I mean, this is a bigger box and it's just full. So we are getting a lot of peppers on this final day of harvesting, I guess, before the freeze comes. But I wanted to show you that this plant, this is pineapple sage. It smells beautifully, and then it flowers, and these flowers are supposed to attract the hummingbirds and butterflies as well. And so now it's getting colder, but earlier it flowers later, and I should have cut it back. It got it needs more room to grow than I gave it this year, I think, but it's just, it smells beautiful, and I have seen hummingbirds out here. So the only reason I plant this is for the pollinators, but it smells beautifully, and I've read you can use it to make tea, and so I don't know. I should probably try something with it someday because it does smell so pretty. I've read about drying it and different things like that, so we'll see, maybe next year. But beautiful, and it smells gorgeous, and this is the first year I've let it go to flower, and it really does attract the hummingbirds. So I've been out here about a little less than an hour, and like I said, I still have a couple pepper plants to get to, and then I'm going to take all my peppers inside and wash them, and then we're going to come back and we're going to try to tackle this jungle of tomatoes. And then I will pull my plants. I have ground cover down, so I am going to pull them. I know lots of people keep them in for compost and things, but I also don't want a bunch of volunteer tomatoes next year. So anyways, that is my goal today. I have quite a few eggplant over here as well. I don't know if you can see, but these flowers are just gorgeous. The beautiful purple flowers that start before they go into anybody eggplant starting. So I need to pull those as well. I don't even know if I'll get to eating them. Our schedule is so busy. But one thing that can handle the frost is all the kale. This is like younger kale that would taste better, so I can start harvesting this. That has gotten away. That would be more for animals. Like if you're feeding animals, same thing. Maybe some of that younger kale up there, but it just got in the mess with all the flowers and the weeds back here because I didn't put ground cover down, and it got away from me. I do have some rainbow Swiss chard over there as well, and it can handle a light frost, not necessarily a heavy frost. So I don't know. The garden will be looking a lot different after this week. I'm kind of excited and kind of sad at the same time. I enlisted the help of my girls for the last sweet pepper plant. They are going to pick. You got it. And put it in there. Yep. It is cold out here this morning. We are picking in mid-October, and it's probably 40 some degrees out here this morning. So we are trying to get it done, but they're going to do sweet peppers, and then once I get all the peppers harvested and washed, Diesel's barking over there, then they may come out and help me with some of the tomatoes. I don't know. Do you like that pepper? Those are the fun ones to pick because they're so big. Those are my Carmen peppers.
But I make my hands cold.
It's pretty cold. So it almost frosted last night, but it didn't. And so we definitely made progress yesterday. Pulled out all these tomatoes. So this whole area is empty and it was full. But I still am working today because it is going to frost tonight. And so I still have all of this left to do. I'm trying to decide if it's even worth like saving any of these cherry tomatoes. I mean, there's several bigger ones like here that I could take in and they could ripen inside. But I just don't know. I might just pull the plant and not worry about any of that. And then these were the pepper plants. I need to pull all those. I took all the peppers off yesterday, but I didn't pull them. This is another cherry tomato plant where it actually does have a lot of good tomatoes on it. But again, I don't know if I'm going to waste my time doing it, or take my time, not waste. But this was a big like pineapple heirloom. What was it called? Yeah, it was just called a pineapple one, but I never got any good ones. It kept, like, before it would get fully ripen, it would rot like this. And even I took a couple off early, but it was so pretty. It had like this swirl on the bottom, see that? And it tasted very sweet. Like, I did taste one and it was almost too sweet for my BLT. Like, it was very good, but I don't think I'll grow them again just because they get huge. But if I want to pick them when they're green, they're smaller and they take, I don't know. It's just one of those where I don't think it's a hybrid. I think it's an heirloom, and some of those are harder. But this one actually looks like I might be able to take inside. So I might get a couple off of this plant before I take it down. But they get huge and they rot quickly, so I don't know about that. I still have these couple to do that are just San Marzanas. Those will be quick and easy, lots of green ones. This is also a cherry tomato yellow one. You could see some of it got damaged. Like, it wasn't a frost last night, but it was definitely cold and I didn't cover them. So there was a little bit of damage on top of that plant, I did notice. I still have all this basil here. Yes, guys, I know a lot about basil. I know you can cut it and it grows. Like, if I would have been cutting it down all year. But I think this might not taste good because it's so woodsy down there. I could have dried it. I have so much dried basil, I didn't need it. And I didn't make any pesto this year. My kids don't really like it anymore. They used to. These were my tomatillas that flowered and were beautiful, but I didn't realize you had to add 2 plants. So next year I will try tomatillas and I'll plant 2 plants. But I have a friend who only has 1 plant and hers get pollinated. So I don't know. You guys know about that? Tomatilla plants? Do I need 2 of them? Is that true? There was ground cherries here, so at one time I thought that those 2 would help each other out, but I guess not. So anyway, I don't know. I had so many flowers, but no tomatillas this year. Next year, I guess I'll try again. And then here is my huge tomato plant because it grew up on the chicken fence. It was taller and it was very, it was thriving and amazing. And so I have lots of red ones in there I need to pick and lots of green ones that I'll save. But we are getting closer and I'm going to spend about 1 more hour out here and then I'm just going to call it good. Whatever I get done in an hour is what I get done. Starting just with a little bitty box today. I do have some green ones I picked over there to put in here. I do have that box I could fill if I decide to, but let's see how it goes. We're getting closer.